Are you struggling with procrastination? Well, this video is about how to use IFS to overcome procrastination. Because if you're procrastinating on something, say it's having a difficult conversation, or maybe it's just something boring that you have to do for work or your business, or you don't want to clean something, you're going to have a part of you that's avoiding taking action, right? And then you'll probably have another part of you that's very critical about this and wanting you to get things done. And in IFS, we're always looking at our parts inside of us and trying to understand what each part is doing for us. It has a positive intention, even if other parts don't think so. It's trying to help in some way. And there are 3 questions we want to ask and create a dialogue with about this part of us that procrastinates and how it is impacted by the part of you that's critical about this. And we're going to facilitate this dialogue by accessing this inner presence, what we call your true self with a capital S, that has this capacity to have curiosity, compassion, clarity, and a desire to connect with these parts of you. Because in IFS, we believe there are no bad parts and that every part is just a part of you. It's not your true self, which can be very comforting and soothing, especially if you're really balled up about just how badly you procrastinate, or this other part that is very disapproving is really sort of loud in your head. So when 2 parts are in conflict, it's stressful, and there's usually a third part that sort of zooms in to say, let's eat ice cream, let's zone out, let's do something to distract or give you pleasure. And then after you do that, there's another part that's like, see, I told you so. So it's really helpful to use this system for understanding inner conflict and moving past it. So we're going to do a little exercise. It's a little visualization meditation to get to know the part of you that procrastinates. And we're going to ask it 3 important questions. But before we do that, get a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, because I really think it's helpful to do this little exercise on paper. Okay? So maybe stop the video if you need to go get that. And what I want you to do is sort of think about this part of you that procrastinates, how it talks to you. Oh, I can do it tomorrow, whatever it says. And just think about how it, if it's like a little caricature or a character in your mind, and then sketch it out. I'm talking stick figure, nothing fancy, just a little explanation. Maybe it's telling you what it says, and just do that in like 30 seconds. And then draw a little stick figure representation of the part of you that's disapproving, okay? And maybe turning off the video, you can sketch that, turn it back on, and we'll start this inner process. And it may be helpful to realize that not everybody gets to make contact and have a positive interaction with this part quickly. It takes practice. And accessing your self energy is something that's natural because you're accessing who you really are. So everyone can do it. Nobody doesn't have self energy or access to self energy. But sometimes our parts are really sort of strong or controlling, and they won't step back. They don't want to be witnessed. So if all of this sounds weird to you, that's fine. If this is your first exposure to IFS, just try it because it's really fun and you'll be amazed at what you discover. All right, so I'm going to tell you what we're doing first, and then we're going to do it. So we're going to close our eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. You can soften your gaze, look into this picture behind me. And then we're going to do a little visualization of your parts and see if you can make contact with them. And then we're going to talk to the procrastinator and ask these 3 questions. How is it trying to help you? What is it afraid will happen if you don't do that? And then what does it need right now? And there's a fourth question and a fourth step to this process that we're not going to do in this video because that would be too long and it might bring up kind of things you're not ready to deal with. So go ahead and close your eyes and we'll get started, okay? So doing whatever helps you turn towards your inner world, let's just start by closing your eyes if that's comfortable and taking 3 gentle breaths together, okay? So inhale in and exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. One more breath in. And this time, slow your exhale and sink into whatever you're sitting on and feel it beneath you, holding you up. And let's take one more breath in. Slow your exhale. And this time, sink even deeper into your body and imagine you have roots like an ancient, majestic tree dropping down from the bottom of your spine and your feet into the earth. And from this more rooted place, there is a presence within you that's aware of being aware. And it can notice other parts of you in your inner world. And it has an interest, a curiosity, and a compassion, and a desire to connect and collaborate. And this presence is your true self. It's the part of you that has never been harmed, shamed, criticized in any way, and can notice your parts with this clarity and calmness. So see if you can observe the parts we explored. The part of you that procrastinates, maybe the part of you that's irritated, and there might be another part that you're aware of. So just take your time and see if you can be aware of these parts. And if you're not aware of any parts, that's okay. And that's probably a part of you that blanks you out or distracts you so that you can't do this work. For whatever reason, doesn't feel safe, comfortable, worried, and that part's welcome too. And if you can see or make contact, not everyone sees their parts, feel, sense the part of you that procrastinates and the part of you that doesn't like that. See if you can notice both of them through the eyes of this presence and let them know they both matter. They're both going to be seen and attended to. But see if the part that disapproves would be willing to give us some space so you can have a dialogue with this part that procrastinates. And just notice how you feel towards this part. Do you feel compassion and curiosity? Or if you're irritated, it's probably the part of you that doesn't like it. And we can just ask that part to step back. And then we're going to notice the part that procrastinates and ask it, how do you help me? What is it that you're trying to do for me? And then listen, receive the answer because it is trying to help in some way. It means well. Other parts may not like it, but just see if it can tell you. And if you get an answer to that, you can ask it this question. What is it afraid will happen if it doesn't do this, if it doesn't try and protect you in some way or help you? And then wait and receive what it has to say. And then see if you can ask this part of you, What is it longing for? What does it wish for? Maybe it's acceptance, peace, freedom, protection, whatever it tells you. Just let it answer. And then see if you can flow that through this presence within. Send it compassion, love, whatever it's asking for. And see if it's able to receive it. And what is it like for this part to receive acceptance or support? This is probably really used to just being judged. And then take a nice deep breath and thank this part for being willing to speak to you. Thank the part that is disapproving for its willingness to give us some space. And if it wasn't able to do that, you can acknowledge that part and say, thank you for trying to help. It doesn't want you to procrastinate. And maybe you can repeat this exercise with this part that showed up and stopped you from connecting with the part that procrastinated. All right, so just take another breath. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back and maybe write down any insights that you had, wisdom that you kind of discovered. And this is something that you might have to do a little bit to get the hang of it, but it can be so helpful in meeting any part of you that is struggling through this presence, your true self, that can always meet it with compassion. Because we are never inspired to change through shame, criticism, or external motivation. It's only when we receive peace and love and loving kindness and compassion that the parts of us that feel shame are open and more hopeful and more willing to change their behavior. So I hope this was helpful for you. Post in the comments if you learned anything interesting. Please, if you like this video, share it with friends and family and repost it. And thanks for watching. And remember this, some days you can be the light, some days you need to receive the light. And wherever you are on your journey of being the light, you're always welcome to connect here at Delight the World for hope, healing, and illumination. So thanks for watching.